Okay, everybody, so like I said, these next couple videos are going to be very informational. I need you to stay with me with them because it's going to be a lot of information. This here is my pastel special. Pastel includes the lighter colors in her pattern, and the special sends out that white down at the bottom. You can't really see it because my lighting is terrible. Let me see if I can turn and get a better view. Yeah, this is my pastel special. Her name is Cleo. Uh, so I'm gonna get into the husbandry of ball pythons a little bit because that's a thing. You know, you gotta understand what to keep them in, and how to keep them, things that they like, things they don't like. So that's what this video is gonna be about, and it's gonna be a couple of interesting shots. I did a couple of different things with my pastel. You'll see that in the video coming. But yeah, stay tuned. All right. Everybody, we all know my snake Judah. It's my big pastel. He's gonna be featured a lot throughout this video. Basically, every snake is different with all being the same. What I mean by that is Judah doesn't really like too big of an enclosure. He acts funny when he's in a really big enclosure. What I mean by he acts funny is, like, he does he shows symptoms of stress, like, a lot of head wobbling, like he's confused, things of that nature. He just doesn't seem the same. So I put him back in his quarantine enclosure, and for some reason that's just what he likes right now. I'm trying to find different things to help him out, but like I said, I use the Zilla jungle mix for the bedding. I got that log you see him hiding, him slithering in, that's in there. Got a heat pad for him, things of that nature. I like to keep the temperature in between 88 and 91 degrees in this tank or its enclosure. Keep the humidity kind of high so it keeps the skin, kind of fresh. Haven't had a stuck shut on him since I've had him. I also like to, do a little natural enrichment. I'll take my snakes outside. I let them go out, sunbathe a little bit, do a couple of crawling, slithering, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, they really enjoy being outside a lot. I guess it's the closest thing to nature as they're gonna get, because naturally these animals spend majority of their time in my room inside of tanks and tubs and stuff like that. But yeah, like I said, this is Judah. That's what its enclosure looks like now. You can't see it, but there's a pretty big log somewhere in there. I'm just focused on the cave. There's a heating mat under the cave. So keep his temperature right so he can thermoregulate. There's a hot side and a cold side to his cage, as most ball pythons would like. They want a hot side and a cold side so they can thermoregulate, because sometimes they get too hot and they have to go over to the cold side, cool down. But overall, this is Judah. That's just a piece of a water jug I cut. And now I'm gonna show you an example of pretty basic husbandry. Only reason why I say it's pretty basic because, you know, there's really not much in the tank. There's not much there. It's just a water bowl, a hide, and a log. That's really it. I like to keep logs in my snake enclosures so they can hide inside of the logs or under the logs, whatever they may feel. Like I said, each snake is different. Alright, so like I said, this is some pretty basic husbandry right here. I got some aspen bedding, I got a little cave I made out of a plastic tub, and I also got a log in there, and I got a water bowl I bought from Pet Supermarket. Like I say, it's basic because it's not too much in there. I really don't like the aspen bedding anymore because it sucks at holding humidity. I have to constantly spray it down just to keep it moist for my snakes, to keep the humidity high. However, sometimes she feels like, I think she says she loves it. Like, she's not showing no signs of distress. I think she would do a little better in something a little more natural to the jungle vibe. But, she likes it, I guess. This is a view from the inside of my uh, normal ball python's enclosure. Reason why I got this right here is I have a water dish made out of a Tupperware container, and I have a pretty big water dish because normally it's not good. I'm not gonna say it's not good, but if your snake is soaking in their water bowl, there might be something wrong. Meaning that the humidity in the tank might not be big, might not be high enough, and they're getting ready to go in the shed, and they don't want to, have a stuck shed. These animals are pretty smart, so there's a lot that we don't have to do to take care of them, but there's a lot of stuff that we have to keep up on, like humidity and stuff like that. But you know, if you're new into the ball python game or new into snake keeping, ball pythons are very forgiving. So there's a lot of stuff that you'll do and you'll say that, like, you'll flip out, and the snake is just gonna be like, oh, okay, well, all right, well, just get it right. So listen, I don't know if you can see it, but that's her right there. Okay, well, this video is coming to an end just because I've talked enough already. Just gonna give you a quick recap. Like I said, ball pythons normal to keep their normal have to be between 88 and like 91 degrees. Normal when they get below 88, that's when they go into breeding mode, and that that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. But yeah, normally they like to be 88 degrees through 91. Uh, they like a relatively high humidity, but not too high to where there's condensation dripping down the side of their enclosure. Um, Other than that, any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to leave a link and feel free to leave a comment down below. Hit me up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Anything, I'm always open for suggestions. If I did something wrong, don't criticize me, educate me. Because, like I said, I'm new into this game. So, there's still a lot of stuff I'm learning as well. And like I said, these ball pythons are very forgiving. So, it's not like, I'm torturing my animals or my animals are suffering because I have a pretty good idea about what I'm doing apparently. But yeah, like I said, y'all, like, share, subscribe, comment, hit me up. Share the video with friends, family, anybody that has a negative perception on snakes. Basically, because snakes are not as bad as people seem. They're actually quite majestic creatures if you allow them to be who they are. But, but, all right, y'all. I'm gonna get out of here.